have a policy until this one was created.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Dr. Mitzel, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Say you went to the superintendent and you asked him a legal question, and he's not a lawyer, he's not a licensed attorney, and we got sued in the district. Would I ask the solicitor to represent us? I mean, the superintendent? I mean, legally, he can't represent us. He's not a lawyer. He can't give legal advice.
Sure.
You have to have an attorney's license. You have to have a degree.
So your question, Mr. Sullivan, is if I had a legal question and I went to the superintendent to ask the question and he recommended not contacting the solicitor or didn't do it himself, and the result of that was a lawsuit towards the district as a result of not contacting the solicitor. Is that what you're asking?
No. What I'm saying is if I went to, let's say I went to Don, and I'm not picking on Don, I'm just
Sure.
bringing his name. But let's say I went to Don and I said, Don, I have a legal question about, some liability that we may be under as the board president. And Don says to me, well, in my experience, this is how we've handled it in the past, okay? And let's say he tells me that, and I'm like, okay, fine, we'll just move on with it. We move on with it, and we get sued. The problem is I can't come back and say I talked to the solicitor and an attorney. I have to say I come back and talk to the superintendent, and that's not going to hold up the court of law. I mean, we're going to get our pants sued off.
So one thing that I would say, Mr. Sullivan, is this. We have a superintendent for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
That superintendent brings an awful lot of knowledge and
Yeah, agreed.
and is to act on behalf of the board on all matters.
Mm-hmm.
The superintendent it's incumbent on him through law and statute to be able to protect the district. That's their function. Their function then is to work with the board to provide policy and direction for the school. So I wouldn't understand why a superintendent wouldn't, at a point, make that contact or talk through a situation to say, yes, this is worthy, and use critical thinking to decide whether or not. So to me, if there's a legal matter that could lead to legal action that is detrimental to the district, that superintendent should have the authority to be able to take that into consideration, contact the solicitor either themselves or together with that person with that issue, and resolve that matter, reporting back out to the board what the general synopsis, understanding confidentiality, and on personal matters to be able to report to the board what happened. To me, that should be the process that we would use.
Can I